Hello, hello, gorgeous ones. Welcome back to the podcast. And welcome if you are listening over on YouTube. We are back. We are back on YouTube. So freaking excited for this. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for following along the journey and joining in with me. And to the special few clients who reached out and said, Evie, bring back YouTube. Thank you. You know who you are. Um, but yeah, I'm going to share the backstory to that in a moment. And maybe that deserves its whole nother podcast episode in and of itself, because there's so many lessons in that journey and that experience, those experiences there. But today's podcast is all about the 5 lessons, my 5 biggest lessons from 5 years of business. These are ones that that I think are really powerful, that are universal, that I think you can apply to lots of different areas of your business or different types of businesses. And also, the ones that I just think are really pertinent right now that I think are going to really support you. So I'm so excited to dive into that conversation today. But just a couple of reminders before we dive into the conversation today is if you are not yet joining us for my free live event, it's going to be over on Zoom. You could be absolutely anywhere in the world. Come join us. I will share the links in the show notes in the description below so you can come join us. It is called The Unstoppable CEO, and you want to be in the room. So come join us. Now, if you are a CEO and you feel like or are wanting to get into business and really you are a soul-led human, you want to create a business that's all about your soul's gifts, your soul's work. It's something that's so important to you, and you want to feel that unwavering trust and confidence in yourself as a human, as a CEO, and with your gifts, and you want to anchor back into your mission and really go big on your strategy this year and beyond, then come join us. It's going to be a really powerful experience, and I really can't wait to join you. Can't wait for you to join us. And there's going to be so much to come. So we'll share all the links in the show notes and the descriptions below. So make sure you pop your name on the list. Of course, there's a replay if you can't join us live, so you can watch any time that suits you afterwards. Alrighty, now without further ado, let's dive into today's podcast episode. Welcome, welcome for those of you who are new around here. If you're over watching on YouTube, I'm so excited for today's episode. Alrighty, so if you're a long-time listener, you'll know that I'm bringing back in quotes that I wanted to share each and every episode with guests and with solo episodes. So today's quote is actually one from my vision board, which is above me here in my office where I'm recording this. And it is this: your only limit is you. Your only limit is you. And I think that that can be a hard-hitting truth. But a really empowering one, is that, I really believe that we can find the answers, we can become more resourceful, we can, invest the money, create the money, the abundance, the opportunities, we can ask the questions, we can learn the knowledge, we can build the skills and the foundations, all of those sorts of things to overcome the so-called barriers that we might be feeling or seeing in our businesses or in our lives, in any area of our lives. And I really believe that if we are really if we're really devoted to ourselves and the inner work that it takes to live a life of fulfillment and love and greatness and going after big things in our lives, whatever it is, it requires you to show up for those. And I think that, our minds, our belief systems, our levels of worthiness and receivership, all of those sorts of things are so interwoven with, you're actually going to get the things that we really want. And so, I think that that quote is a really beautiful one to come back to, and really empowering one, a hard hitting one at sometimes though, but sometimes we need to hear those things, right? Now, let's dive into today's podcast episode. So this is the 5 lessons from 5 years in business, from my 5 years in business, sorry. I've written some notes today. I don't normally write notes for podcast episodes, but of course I wanted to make sure that they're really powerful, succinct, really relatable ones, and ones that I think that, really transformative for you and transferable to any type of business, and also potentially many areas of your life as well. Okay, so my first lesson that I wish that everyone knew about business is that your authenticity will never not be trending. Your authenticity will never not be trending. Now, in my 5 years of business, Well, I have seen a lot of trends. A lot of trends come and go, actually. We've seen lots of changes to the online space. We've seen changes to social media. We've seen new platforms become available, and different ways of marketing and all of those sorts of things. So we've seen lots of different trends, lots of different changes. However, the one thing that will never not be trending, the one thing that will never not be cool, the one thing that will never not be empowering and supportive for you and easeful and be magnetic for you and your business is your authenticity. It's this thing that no one can ever take away from you. And it's the thing that stands you out from every single other human and business, full stop. Always, right? By definition, it has to be the thing that's, sets you aside and stands you aside from everyone else. So, yeah, just remembering that authenticity, and this is the way that I always teach, and definitely the way that I've always done business. And, sometimes we get pulled into one idea or into one, we get a little bit of comparisonitis from time to time, or yeah, we get pulled in a certain way, or think we need to do business in a certain way, or show up in a certain way. But ultimately, I really believe that if we're true to ourselves, if we're being our most authentic selves in everything that we do in our lives, it is going to feel one freaking good, and it's going to feel way more easeful than putting on those masks or the people pleasing or the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. And it's going to be more impactful. It's going to give you the results, I believe, that you really want in your business. And so, yeah, if you think about, we've had, yeah, some platforms come and go. I think about, so many things, or different parts of platforms that have grown and changed. For example, channels, or on Instagram, we've had Threads as a different one. TikTok has grown exponentially. I mean, all of the social media platforms have, very much so. Um, but yeah, isn't it really interesting that those things have come and gone so much, and even the way that we use each platform. If I think about when I first started my business, and Instagram was obviously a big thing. However, reels were not even the thing. Like, video content wasn't as much of a focus. I mean, it was often, grid photos. It was single images on Instagram that were the thing. And then it was carousels, and then it was reels and short form videos, and stories obviously have always been around. But isn't it interesting how much, just even one platform has changed that we all probably use for our businesses? So, like, all those things are going to come and go. I think my biggest thing is not to get caught up in all of the trends. And sure, we want to be using these platforms, as best as we possibly can, and we need to be playing their games. And I think we do need to be growing and evolving as our technology evolves and grows, and the online space evolves and grows. Absolutely, we don't want to be left behind there. However, I think our the key here is to put your authenticity lens on it. So for example, if doing reels and funny dancing and singing around isn't your vibe, that's totally cool. Like, what is your vibe then? Can we use reels in a way that feels really aligned to you, that feels authentic to you, that feels right in your truth and your way of showing up and sharing? Because that, I think, is really important. So if it is a trend, then putting your authenticity lens on it, putting your lens on it, but ultimately, like, your message, your branding, your image, your the vibe, the energy that you portray, the way that you do your craft and how you create your offers, all of those sorts of things needs to be aligned to you and your gifts and your unique gifts, your authentic magic, I like to call it. So that is the thing that I think is the secret sauce, so underrated, and also the thing that's going to stand you out and give you so much more success, but also the thing that's going to make it feel a whole lot more easeful and enjoyable. And it's just going to feel so good, that when you do business in a way that feels really aligned to you as a human and to your gifts, then that's magical. Like, that's incredible. It's amazing. So the first one is that your authenticity will never not be trending. You'll see those trends come and go. You'll see changes to different platforms and into marketing. You will see the way that we sell our offers and our services in different ways. You'll see those trends come and go as well. But there's nothing that's going to take your authenticity away. It's never not going to be trending, and it's really your secret sauce. So lean into that. Do it a bit more. Really dial it up. Be even more authentic than perhaps you have been. Already. Number two, my second lesson in business from 5 years in business. And this is to do the inner work as you do the outer work. Let me explain this one. Doing the inner work, I mean, working on your mindset. I mean, building the self-belief. I mean, building the confidence, the trust that you need in yourself. I mean, building, or sorry, stretching rather, your comfort zone and having the courage and being brave and going first and being the leader. Those sorts of things are required while you build your business. And so I would really recommend what I've personally done and what I teach my clients is to do the inner work as you do the outer work. So do the inner working stuff as you're building your business. And when I mean the outer work, that's more of the practical, tangible things in your business, right? And learning the skills of business and learning about marketing, learning about social media, learning about really exceptional offer creation, those sorts of things. So if you can do the inner work while you're doing the outer work, then I think you're going to get better results when you do the outer work, right? And you're also not delaying your success either. Because sometimes people can have this idea that I have to be this perfect human before I can coach, or I have to be this perfect human before I start my own business, or before I monetize my gifts, etc. And so, I have to like a really rock solid mindset, or I have to feel so confident and trusting in myself and be able to almost be fearless to go after these things. But if you do that, you're just delaying it, right? There's no perfect time. The right time is now. And so I really believe that you can build that stuff in the doing. So do that as you build and grow the actual business, the outer work. So for example, let's just say you want to grow your audience and you want to start your own podcast, for example. And it might be like, oh, wow, that feels really daunting and out of my comfort zone, really stretchy right now. And that's bringing up some belief systems for me, some old faulty belief systems, some limiting beliefs, I call them. Maybe it's around like being seen and heard. Maybe it's around sharing your voice online. Maybe it's around like, I don't, have enough to say, who's going to listen to me, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to really push your comfort zone there. So maybe we do the inner work as we do the outer work. So in this case, it would be talking to your coach, doing your journaling, doing your meditations, doing all the beautiful practices that support you to start to challenge those limiting belief systems that are holding you back from starting your own podcast. As we do the outer work, i.e., actually like coming up with the name and the title for your podcast, thinking about the intro, the jingle, what's the vibe, what's the idea of your podcast? Is it solo? Is it guest? How long? Is it an audio podcast or a video and audio podcast? All of those sorts of things, and actually starting to create it, actually doing it. So I think that there is, so much value and power in doing those simultaneously, not waiting for one or the other. And actually, the other thing I would add in here is that so often, and I talk about this all the time, that business is a personal development journey in and of itself. And so you will be challenged as you show up and grow your business. I feel like at every level of business, there's a new challenge, or there's a new area for growth for you, or there's something being called within to be released or healed or transformed or built upon, so that you can reach that next milestone, that next up level, that next expansion for you, that next level of growth. And so being able to and willing to and open to doing what it takes to support yourself with that is going to be amazing. So do the inner work as you do the outer work, not one or the other. And look, I think those core skills that I mentioned at the start, believing in yourself, having confidence in yourself, having courage, building self-trust and worthiness is so crucial for running your own business. And especially if you're a personal brand, especially if you're a service-based business, like you're a coach or you're a creative of some sort, you're a consultant, you're a healer, you're a naturopath or someone in the health space, whatever it might be. Like so much of that is It's really about having the courage and the trust in yourself to put yourself out there, to deeply believe in your gifts and your service and your worthiness, that you know that you have something that's really going to support and transform other people's lives in a really beautiful, positive way. And so if we can overcome all of the stuff that we are limiting ourselves by, the stories that we're telling ourselves, the mindset wobbles, the chitter chatter, and building those inner skills within ourselves, it's gonna support you so much to go big on your soul's work. And also, I mean, these are beautiful life skills. I mean, it's like win-win. Yeah, it's going to transfer out to everything in your life. So that's number two. Now, number three is all about failure. Yes, we're going there. We're saying the F word, and that is failure. So my biggest thing here is to fail easy and fail fast. Now, what I mean by that is that I think that a lot of the time we have some stories about failure, and maybe we need to start looking at our relationship with failure. What does it actually mean? And is it perhaps more lessons, growth, opportunities to look into something and learning so we can pivot and change and better ourselves? And I think the biggest thing here is like learning to fail easy and fail fast. Oftentimes, and I, can put my hand up from time to time, especially in those earlier years of business, I wanted everything to, be perfect or all worked out or make sure that I've got this tickety-boo plan. And I think that sometimes it's really good just to take the action and be open to failing and learning, because through that action taking, it's going to come the clarity. It's going to give you the lessons and the insights that you need and that you would otherwise wouldn't have. Yeah. So I think that that's a really important one, is to obviously be showing up and taking consistent action. Yes, but also from a lens of being open to trialing things out, being open to taking risks, especially in the earlier stages. And actually, I would say at every stage or every level of business, you should be failing, and just recognizing that and changing our relationship with failure. Because oftentimes many of us will have, yeah, a sticky relationship with failure, or there's a fear of failure. Yeah. And so that fear of failure often is the thing that holds us back from trying, from putting ourselves out there, from figuring things out along the way, from trying things and learning through it. So I also wanted to give you an example here. If I've been supporting people who are earlier stages of business through one of my programs recently, and we've had some beautiful conversations with clients there around, oh, I think I want to add this program, this offer in to my offer suite at some point. I think it might be a course, or I think I might need an online course platform to house all this content. And I'm like, amazing, cool, great. And we talked through some of the possibilities there. However, I was like, why don't we try this out sooner rather than later? Why don't we test it out? Why don't we get some market research? Why don't you start small and start where you know, and we build upon that? So for example, you could set up this massive course, you could be creating the course platform, you could be investing in it, you could be investing lots of your time and your energy, but you don't know if your customers want to buy it. You don't know if your ideal clients want to buy it. You don't have that feedback yet. Or it might be that, hey, I actually don't really like this, or I prefer working in this way, or actually what I've come to learn through this is that this is the better way to structure the program or the offer. And so there's so many insights that will come from putting yourself out there, from trying, from taking those risks. But what I would really encourage you to do is, yeah, one, change that relationship with failure and trying things out, taking some risks, but also taking them at a lower risk, and taking them, making them easier, um, and failing faster at them. So is it just, doing some market research? Is it a sign up page to something to see if there's any interest in an offer or a product? Is it conversations with some more people? Is it, hey, I'm going to do a beta round, sorry, of a program or a launch or whatever it might be, and getting some information and clarity from that for you, for your customers, from the viability of the program, the offer, the idea itself. And I think that, yeah, that is such a huge key to success and innovation. We don't know what we don't know. We've got to try things out. And if we can change that relationship with failure and reduce the fear of it, then we're more likely to show up and take action and learn and grow from it. Amazing. Alrighty, you're still with me? Mm-hmm. So the fourth lesson that I wanted to speak to today is all about your commitment and your dedication to your craft and also to your business. So your craft being, the core skills of it, and this is more for service-based business owners, obviously, coaches, creatives, healers, consultants of some sort. Uh, I think really having that commitment to your craft is huge, and investing in that, honing those skills, learning and growing through the doing, through helping more people, through serving more people in the way that you do it, and seeking out opportunities to continue to grow and invest back into those skills in your craft, because ultimately, that's your business if you're a service-based business owner. So really committing to that, but also committing to your business as a whole as well. Like there will be times along the way, and there certainly has been for me in the last 5 years of my business, where businesses felt challenging, where perhaps there were times and days where I didn't feel like showing up online, when I had a podcast to record and I had no idea about what I was going to speak about, or when I'm in a launch and you have the mid cart launch wobbles, and really building that commitment and that dedication in yourself, that the trust, the courage, and showing up over and over again. It's like going to the gym when you don't feel like going to the gym, but knowing that that's the time when you're really going to reap the rewards, where you're building that habit and that consistency, when most people are going to say, hey, nah, I'm just going to flag it, I'm not going to go to the gym, that you go, and you're moving yourself forward, you're growing, you're expanding. And the same goes with business. So really having that commitment to yourself and your craft, and having that commitment to your business, that no matter what, I'm here, I'm showing up. It might not be perfect action. In fact, it won't be. It's going to be imperfect, messy action, and that's great. And, I might make mistakes. I might fail along the way, and that's all growth. It's all lessons. It's all part of it. And I am going to get better as I go. I'm really resourceful. I'm really committed to being the best that I possibly can be at my craft, at my business, and also like that permission to evolve the business as well. But ultimately, coming back to that core commitment to your business and playing the long game, playing the long game. There is so much BS online and in marketing around overnight successes, around building six figures, seven-figure businesses overnight or in a really seemingly short space of time. And while that may be true and possible for a few, most of the time, that's not the way that it's going to go. And most of the time, it's about playing the long game and really investing in the support, the structure, the systems, your craft, all of these beautiful things that are going to support you with that long game. And yeah, I think that that's where the magic is. That's where the juice is. And so, one, that dedication to yourself, your craft, that trust in yourself as well, but also that commitment to playing your business for the long game. Alrighty, and lucky number 5, the last one is around surrounding yourself with people who get it. This is all about community and connection. Business, and especially if you're a solopreneur or you run a really small business, if you're a coach or a creative or a consultant, especially if you're in the earlier stages and perhaps you have one team member, or you're a solo one-man band, and you're wearing all of the hats in your business at the moment. Business can be a lonely game. And oftentimes we're going against the grain, we're going against societal norms. And I certainly speak from experience with this, and it's been a big lesson for me, is really surrounding myself with the like-minded humans that, are my people as a human, but also people who are doing a similar type of business or have similar values in business. And yeah, finding your people that are really going to support you, who really get it. I have many friends who I absolutely love and adore who aren't in the business space. And I know that I can certainly share about my business. They ask me about my business and I talk about it because it's a big part of me and my life, of course. And they're beautiful, support people for that. However, there are conversations that I will have with people who are in business and are in a similar business to me, who really get it. So finding your business besties, finding a community of people that you can connect with, that you can share the journey with, that you can support and celebrate each other with, is so crucial. We're social beings, us humans. And so I think it's a really important thing to remember to have that support system with you when you're in business, and especially people outside of your immediate personal support system as well. So, is it a coach? Is it a mentor? Is it your business besties? Is it being in a mastermind or a group program, or a mentorship membership for some length of time, where you can really build those connections and the support, because that's really important, I think. And I would also say, a little a little reminder here, and I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, is that, choose wisely, choose those people wisely. We become like that saying goes, we become like the people we spend the most time with. Those five or so people that we spend a lot of our time with, we become like them. And so just making sure that we're choosing those people that are really deeply aligned to us, our values, the way that you want to do business, the way that you want to show up online. If you're around me in my world, it's all about doing business with integrity, with heart, with soul, leading with your gifts and your purpose, really about creating a positive impact and that beautiful ripple effect. And that's what I'm all about. And so just finding your people that are similar to you in that way, or there's some similarities in your values and the way that you show up and do work. Maybe they have similar types of goals and things like that to you, or a similar type of business, but not necessarily. I think the key point is really about those values and connecting with them, as a human, and the way that they run their businesses. And so, yeah, surround yourself with those people, but yeah, really choose wisely, because we become influenced by those people. And so making sure that, yeah, the people that you are spending a lot of time and love and energy with are the people that, yeah, that are the right people. They're really aligned to you. So just to recap, I'm going to read out our beautiful lessons today, the 5 lessons from 5 years in business that I wish everyone knew. Is number one, your authenticity will never not be trending. Your authenticity will never not be trending. Number two, do the inner work as you do the outer work. Do the inner work as you do the outer work. It'll catapult your results, but it'll also mean that you're not waiting to start and to grow and to up level. Now, number three is fail easy and fail fast. Redefining and changing your relationship with failure and seeing it as a beautiful example and way that you can grow and expand. So fail easy and fail fast. Number four, commitment, dedication to your craft and your business, and really playing the long game. And number five is surrounding yourself with people who really get it, having that avenue of connection and community to support, celebrate, cheer you on, share the journey with. That is what makes it, I believe, so much more rewarding, so much richer, so much, you feel so much more supported in it. And yeah, so much more enjoyable and inspiring and all of those wonderful things. So gorgeous humans. I hope you loved that podcast episode and these beautiful lessons. I would love to hear your lessons. Pop them in the comments below if you're watching over on YouTube, or hit me up in a DM over on Instagram, Evelyn Roberta Kelly. I would love to connect with you and hear what you think about this episode and hear some of your lessons. I feel like there's lots of inspiring lessons that will support us all. So please feel free to share those. And remember, come join me for my free live masterclass. It's a live experience, a workshop, an event of sorts over on Zoom. It's free. It's called The Unstoppable CEO. And I would love to have you there and support you. All the information is going to be in the show notes or the description below. So click on the link, make sure you pop your name on the list so you're there, and you also get the replay as well. All right, gorgeous ones. I will see you really soon. But thanks so much for tuning in, and would love to hear from you really soon. Bye bye.